Fantastic day. Bit of a hectic day today. But that's okay. That's how it goes in the morning sometimes. Today we're going to be discussing why you play poker. So if you're here already, bright and early, go ahead and type in why you play poker, because we're going to discuss some of these things. Also, let me know if you're getting the results you want. Because if you're not, well, we need to reevaluate.
Okay.
Okay, do you need to reevaluate?
Okay, you know.
How are you doing?
The way out.
Can you say hello to everyone?
No, I don't understand.
No, well, this is all we got, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where are you going to go?
Roosevelt Island.
Roosevelt Island?
Yeah.
You're going on an adventure with Mom?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, bye-bye. I gotta do my show.
Okay, I want to talk something else.
You want to talk about something else? Yeah. Okay. All right, well, good. Let's discuss this. Okay. Stop. Don't touch that, please. All right. First things first. If you are not getting the results you want from poker,
Yeah.
shh, I'm talking. It means you are not doing the things you need to succeed, right? I see some of you here. I play poker to make money. I play poker to pay my bills. I want to build a big bankroll and invest in myself, right? And it's very important to ask. James, come on.
Quiet.
Would you like to say something? Get it out of your system? What would you like to say? What would you like to say? Okay. If you're not getting the results you want out of whatever you're doing, it's probably because either the game is not beatable, but poker is, because there are plenty of people who beat it. Stop. Or you are not doing the correct processes. What I mean by the game's not beatable, though, like imagine you wanted to be a professional roulette player, and you went and you played roulette all day, every day. Well, if the game is not beatable, then obviously no one's going to win. No matter what kind of studying you do is not going to help you. Obviously, you could find a biased wheel or something, but, if you're just going there and betting on your favorite numbers, then obviously that's not going to work out.
Today's Friday.
Today's Friday?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means Grandma's coming today.
Grandma's coming today?
Yeah.
That's true. You're so smart. How did you know today was Friday?
Today's Friday.
Yeah. What's tomorrow?
Thursday.
No, that was yesterday. What's tomorrow?
But look on my pizza.
Oh, you're showing them your tushy? Look, it says Friday right there on his tushy. That's how you know it's Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because yesterday was Thursday, right?
Yeah, but now it's Friday. Grandma.
Now Grandma comes on Friday.
Hey, look, I see Wednesday. I see Wednesday on my phone.
I don't think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And my fingerprint, yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, that says wave. That says wave. A W for Wednesday. Yeah, you're so smart.
W for Wednesday.
W for Wednesday.
W for Wednesday.
Okay. First things first. If you just typed in something to the effect of you are playing poker for money. Shh, wait a second. Or you are playing poker to pay the bills. Or you are playing poker to supplement your income. Or whatever. If you type that in, and you are not successfully doing that currently, it implies you are not doing the things you need to achieve that. Stop, man. I'm trying to do a show. Can you be a little bit quieter? Look, there's Uncle Eddie. You see Eddie? E-D-D-I-E. Say hi, Uncle Eddie.
Hi, Uncle Eddie.
Do you want to talk to Uncle Eddie?
Yeah.
Say something to him.
But I can't hear him.
You can't hear him or see him? No, he can just see you. Do you want to say anything to Uncle Eddie?
Hey, okay.
Are you looking forward to going back to, what's that place called? Jackson Hole?
Yeah, Jackson Hole.
Do you love doing that with him?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's your grandmother here, too. Grandmother's here, too. Say hi, grandmother. See, read a little. That's your grandmother.
Let me see.
Hey, don't knock over the coffee. Don't knock over the coffee. Say hi, grandmother.
Hey, look, it's me.
Yeah, don't touch it.
When I was a kid.
That is you when you were a kid. Sorry, everyone, for the children distractions today. I'm not sure what Amy's doing, but I have James. Oh, there she is. All right, you gotta go. See ya. Bye-bye. Oh, go to mommy. Bye-bye. Woo! It gets hot in here with the child sitting on you. Okay. It's important to realize people play games for 3 reasons. We've discussed this a few times, but it seems like all of you forget. People play games primarily, number 1, not to win money, not to beat their opponents, not to enjoy the game or test the game. Well, enjoy. Enjoy is a loose word. They play the game for social interactions. The vast majority of you play poker for social interactions, which means you go there to hang out with other people, something to gather around. Magic the Gathering is called The Gathering because people gather together and play the card game to some extent, right? The community is what most people play for, whether or not they actually think that they enjoy that community. Some people like the community because they like making fun of the community. Some people like the community because they're actually friends. Some people like learning from other people and being in diverse environments, right? People experience and enjoy community in all sorts of ways. But the vast majority of people who play games because they want to do stuff with other people. It's important to realize that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that may not be why you play. It is why roughly 90 to 95% of people play games across the board. I think that number is probably lower for poker because poker is a very competitive game. But most people play for the social interactions. The next reason people play, this makes up like the other 8% out of the... So we have 90% for social interactions, 8% play because they like to push the boundaries of the games. And that usually means in poker terms, they like to make big bluffs, make big folds. They like to gamble hard. They like to play super nitty, right? They like to experiment and do interesting things. This is why you see a lot of people really making a point to study all of these extravagant plays that don't actually matter. So many people think that the 3-bet on the river is a super sick play and that's so cool. I mean, this is what most YouTube hand videos are, to be fair. They are showing off the boundaries of the game. They're not showing raise pre-flop with some hand that's well within your range, continuation bet the flop, and move forward. Most people don't find that exciting and fun. However, the nuts and bolts are where you actually make the money. And that other 2% of the people, 2% of game players, play poker because they want to win money. You may say, well, of course, doesn't everyone want to win money? Not enough to influence their actions at and away from the table. Someone earlier said they play poker to make money, etc., and to blow off steam. If to blow off steam is your answer, that's a problem if you actually think you want to win money. You do not play poker to goof off. You play poker to try to make money, assuming that is the goal. What's the topic for today? Shadow, you're late. Why do you play poker? Bit of an odd question. Do you think that being hyper-successful at poker long-term requires exceptional intelligence? You probably have to be smarter than the average bear, but I don't think you have to be overly smart. I do think you have to love to play games. Are you showing everybody it says Friday on your butt? Come on, James, you gotta go. You need to go hang out with Mommy.
No, so do my Friday.
Mommy? No, he can't.
James, let's go. James,
You want?
let's go right now. We're not going out.
Okay, buddy.
We're not going to go to this
No,
whole island.
Daddy. It's Daddy Day.
It's a mommy.
Today's a Mommy Day. You're gonna go on an adventure with Mommy. Go on. Go on.
Oh, I want Daddy
Go.
to take me on a
Look at your binoculars out the window.
Oh, go see what you see. Go on, buddy. I love you. I'll play with you in a little bit. Oh, gosh. Okay. Do you have to be exceptionally smart? I don't know. What's my IQ? I don't know. Somewhere probably 125-ish. So, smarter than average. Certainly not a genius. I'm good at studying and grinding, though. I think you do need grit. You need determination. You need willingness to persevere through difficult times, etc., etc. What's the general raise amount at the beginning of a sit and go? I mean, look, it doesn't really matter. 2, 2.2, 2.5, it doesn't really matter. Poker quote of the week from Jonathan. You are a fish. Is that blunt enough for you? Yeah. All right. As Kevin says, if you like this, click subscribe. If you like seeing my child not cooperate with me, click subscribe. If you have any bankroll questions, everyone, go to jonathanlittlepoker.com/bankroll. This is not an Ask Me Anything where You're going to ask me a bunch of random questions. We'll do that on Sunday when I'm streaming. Sunday, I'm going to start streaming, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Last Sunday, we went from 1 p.m. until about 4:30 a.m. Can't even count how many hours that is. It was a long stream. We took a 5th place in a $600 buy-in game for like $10,000. We won a $50 game. We won 3 satellites, etc., etc., etc. Good Sunday. Cashed for $1,000 in a $200 tournament. It was a good Saturday. Okay. So which type of player are you? I would bet decent money. What's that microphone doing way over there? I would bet decent money that the vast majority of people here think they play poker to make money. And I hate to break it to you, if you're not winning substantial money from poker, you're not playing to make money. You're playing for something else, for some other reason. And that is important for you to wrap your head around. A lot of people think they are doing the right thing, and most people are not. They are instead doing what they think they should be doing, but that's not definitively the right thing. And to be fair, none of us are definitively doing the right thing if your goal is to purely maximize dollars per hour at the poker table. It's very difficult to actually do the right thing if that is your pure goal. Obviously, life happiness is important too. Right? Like right now in my life, I'm spending most of my time hanging out with my family, taking care of my kids, making content for all of you. While, some of that does help me get better at poker as well, it's not getting me as good at poker as fast as I possibly could be getting good at poker, right? And that's fine. I understand that. I accept that. Accepting your current situation and realizing that either you're going to change it or you're not is very, very important. Because, well, if you think you're trying to do something, but in reality you're not, that's going to result in you getting bad results. And bad results are going to demoralize you, make you unhappy, and make you unfulfilled. And I don't want you to be demoralized, unhappy, and unfulfilled. Sean's asked me questions about ACRs, if I think ACR is a legitimate poker site. I don't know anything about ACR. I'm not a shill for ACR. Go ask one of the ACR shills who get paid $1,000 a month to answer your questions about their high deposit fees. I don't know anything about ACR. I do not represent them. I do not vouch for them. And I suggest you don't keep any substantial money on sites that are unlicensed and unregulated. I was listening to another poker player stream the other day. People asked him, what do you think of Poker Bros? Turns out it's not just me. All of you ask these ridiculous questions. And he went off, just like I do. It made me so happy to hear. He basically said something to the effect of, I would never ever run a game. I would never ever tell anyone to play on those sites. And if you are running a game, you could be legitimately breaking the law. You could find yourself in prison. And if you are playing the games, well, you're going to find yourself cheated, most likely. And you're probably going to find yourself not paid. Okay. Joshua says, you believe you're in that pushing the boundaries 8%, but you really want to change to the making money category. Advice on transitioning. There you go. That is a good question. You have to realize that when you push the boundaries, you are inevitably pushing the boundaries in exchange for winning less money. Okay? So are you cool with that? Sounds like you're not. You'd rather win the most money. So you need to stop pushing the boundaries as hard as you do. That may mean fewer check raise all in river bluffs. It may mean playing slightly tighter before the flop. It's important to ask, where am I losing money? If you play a bunch online, you can use Hold'em Manager to find spots where you are losing money. Like let's say you raise with King 10 offsuit under the gun every time. And it turns out you lose a little bit of money when you raise the King 10 offsuit. Start folding it. Easy. We just plugged a leak that's going to cost you a ton of money lifetime. And that was easily doable by just looking at your database and seeing which hands you're losing with. Obviously, you need a lot of hands to know that, but it still is important. Let's say every hand in your pre-flop raising range is very, very profitable. That's a problem, too. You actually get to play more hands. You want to be profiting with all the hands that you have, and you get to play more. So you need to find spots where you are essentially just not playing well. And the tough thing is especially in poker tournaments, it's tough to know if like the big check raise all in river bluffs on the first level make logical sense because, they do win chips, but they may not win dollars out the door because you need to win far more of the big pots than you lose. So it's important to understand that. You're an inventor as well. Oh, I don't think you're talking to me. Okay. You like the strategic challenge and the competitiveness. This falls in the waste social interactions, believe it or not. Challenges and competitiveness, understand that equates to I like to test myself against others. And I think against others is kind of the problem a lot of people run into. Because if you're testing yourself against others frequently, you are very often, well, going to lose. Because if you're always testing yourself and pushing the boundaries, it's not going to work out for you, right? So you have to make sure that you're playing with a positive win rate. A lot of people don't win because they do not play with a positive win rate. They instead play in the toughest games they can possibly play, or in the games that are highest that their bankroll can withstand. And that's a bit of a problem. James just threw 5 balls right at my window. I'm surprised it didn't break it. You've learned a lot from failures. If you're not training or competing against the best, you will never get the best. How do you get into these circles in poker? Add value. We've discussed this a bunch. Figure out ways that you can add value to groups. I add value by, well, back in the day, whenever I had my group of very close poker friends, I was the short stack person. I was very good at short stack and very good at ICM because I'd studied it for years using ICMizer and before that, sit and go power tools. That was my skill that I was the default authority on among my group of 10 friends. And other friends were good at cash game play. Other friends were good at early stacked play. Or other friends were good at helping you get money from one site to another. You know, you can be good at all sorts of stuff. You can be the mindset guy, whatever. So anyway, let's see. Mark says it's always hard to make the right play. As soon as you realize that you're actually playing for money and not making the right play costs you money, then you'll start making the right play. If your pure goal is to win money, and you know one play makes money and one play doesn't make money, or one play makes $5, the other play makes $2, you're going to start making the play that makes $5 because it's just the right play. You're new to my site. Tom, send us an email, support@pokercoaching.com. We have loads and loads and loads of content there. We'll direct you to the right thing. Is Mastering Small Stakes the best book for local casinos? Yes. Also, many of my books are on audiobooks. Somebody asked that already. Just go to audible.com. Any advice on switching to Go Pro? Search Jonathan Little Go Pro, and I'm sure it'll come right up. All right. So, what do your actions indicate about what you want in life? Ask yourself that. Whenever you're playing poker, are you playing one table at a time and sipping a beer? Are you studying a lot away from the table? What does your study look like? Are you watching content by very good players, or are you watching some random high-stakes player play games you don't even play? So many poker players spend good money to sign up for training sites and then watch content that doesn't even make sense. I mean, I used to do this. I would sign up for a site like Run It Once. I'd watch Phil Galfond play 500, 1,000 pot limit Omaha. Completely useless for me. I'm never going to be playing heads up pot limit Omaha. Basically, no one plays that game. So why would you spend your time watching that if your goal is purely to make as much money as possible? Ask yourself that, right? What you spend your time doing is going to heavily dictate what you succeed at in life. And to be fair, if you are kind of obsessive and you go hard on anything, you probably will get pretty decent at it. But it may be a waste of your time. For me, good example of this, a game called Hearthstone. I'm pretty good at Hearthstone. I'm actually pretty good at this game called Battlegrounds on Hearthstone. But I'm never going to do that professionally. I'm never going to even get up out of my apartment and go play the game because it doesn't make logical sense. I can sit here, write one article in a day, and make more money than I would make getting up and going to play a Hearthstone tournament. Because they just don't play for substantial money. I'm sure people are going to say, oh, somebody won $100,000. Yeah, a few people win $100,000 every year. Congrats. That's not going to be me, because we're not devoting our whole life to it. We're devoting, 30 minutes a day to it. But it's a complete waste of time. Now, it's okay to have waste of time. It's okay. It's okay to have waste of time as long as you enjoy it as a hobby. But if you are trying to succeed at something, you should be devoting significant time to it. What's my Battlegrounds rating? It's about 7,500, give or take. Again, could be higher if we played a lot. Turns out your rating usually trickles up consistently if you're good. I guess up until a certain point, because you do start getting fewer points. Whatever, we're not going to go deep on random games. Which format do you believe is most profitable online at this time? Depends on the stakes. Vulcan, you're not asking very good questions. Obviously, the games that you can make the absolute most money at are always the absolute highest stakes games. Cash games you can play higher than any other form of poker at the moment, so cash games would be the right answer. However, probably not the case. Tournaments are the case for the vast majority of people in exchange for lots of variance. To know how Sharkscope ability is determined? No, I do not. I'm not a Sharkscope pro. I don't know anything about Sharkscope, really. Shout out from Indonesia. Hello. What's the minimum stack or bet to stack ratio you have for flatting and early position pre-flop raise? If I have 10 big blinds, I'll call. I'll call them in raise for sure. Maybe 12 big blinds. There's some hands you can flat. Not all hands, but some hands. We have implementable GTO charts at pokercoaching.com. Go check those out. That will help you. You see with 15 big blinds, though, you do flat call some from various positions. If you use a reshove or fold strategy, as some poker apps out there will make you think is ideal, you're going to be lighting your money on fire. You don't want to light the money on fire. I'm Aaron. Thank you for the kind words. To level up in any business or entrepreneurship, it takes a special blend of personal ingredients. I'm not sure it's all that special. I'm not sure it's actually all that special. I think what it really takes is the ability to grind while also thinking at the same time. Not just going on mindless autopilot, but the ability to grind, think, assess, change. And also, you have to not be egotistical. So many people out there, they play to try to prove themselves. That goes back to social interactions. I'm not trying to prove myself to anyone. A lot of people have the hang up where maybe their parents, they were never good enough for their parents or something, or maybe they feel that way. Or maybe they had a friend who was always better than them at school and they wanted to be able to just beat that friend at something, but they can never do it, so now they're going to try to show through poker that they are good at something. I don't feel that in the least bit. Some people think that that may be required to get good at something, but I completely disagree. If anything, I am purely trying to prove to myself that I am good and competent. But we're not trying to prove anything to anyone else. Trying to please other people, especially if they don't even matter to you, is asinine. For example, say there was some kid in school who's always better than you at something, and you want to prove to him that you're great at something now. You don't care about this random kid from your school. They're completely irrelevant. What happens to a lot of people is they were never good enough for their parents whenever they were young, and then their parents passed away. And now here they are, 50 years old, trying to prove to their parents that have been passed away for the last 25 years that they're good enough for something that they will never achieve. And that kind of thing will result in you chasing things that are completely irrelevant, not beneficial, not productive, etc. Seems like no one got the drift. This is not an Ask Me Anything. We'll do an Ask Me Anything on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll stream 1 p.m. Eastern Time till I'm done. So, sit back and ask yourself, what actions are you taking? What are you doing in your life that you could get rid of and now have more time to study and get good? Ask yourself that. What's my opinion on Patrick Leonard saying new players should just late register and perfect their short stack play? Well, it depends on how much time they have to devote to studying. Also depends on what format they're playing, right? Obviously, an easier game is the 8 big blind all-in poker fest that you can play. Not all that hard to learn, pretty easy. And to be fair, that's a pretty easy way to go from being a huge loser to only a small loser. You trying to teach people to go from huge loser to small loser? Maybe are, maybe aren't. I would definitely suggest learning to play fundamentally sound in all spots you are likely to be in. For example, if you're a tournament player, you literally never have to study 500 big blind deep poker. Forget about it. Does not matter. Funny enough, at a World Series of Poker event last year, they started us off with, I think, 1,200 big blinds. It was some turbo. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, No one's going to go broke right now. Like, what are we even doing for 15 minutes playing whatever this is, 1,000, 1,200 big blinds deep? And then Randall Limit went broke like 5 minutes into the day. But yeah, I've literally never played that in my whole life, and just played kind of tight for 15 minutes and got out of the scenario, right? But obviously you want to study things that matter the most, and when you're playing the final table areas of shallow stack turbo tournaments, like some online tournaments, yeah, everyone's going to be short. You sure better know how to play short stacked. That said, if you're going to play tournaments like World Poker Tour events or any prestigious event, even main events online, you'll be at the final table with like 50 big blind effective stacks sometimes. And you sure better know how to do that. But I mean, to be fair, if I was giving advice to someone who had literally 3 hours to study poker, yeah, focus on shallow stack poker and buy in late. Easy way to game the system, right? But that's not what I'm trying to do to all of you here. I'm not trying to teach you for 3 hours and make you only a small loser. That's not my goal. Please know, my goal is to not make you a small loser after you work for 3 hours, right? How many big blinds on average do you have when you hit the money? Depends entirely on the tournament, Colin. How do you work on removing emotion? Ask yourself why you're playing. Are you playing poker to make money? Well, if so, then what does your emotion have to do with it? You'll find spots when you're playing like, ooh, this feels dirty. Hey, if you watched me stream last week, there were multiple spots on the river where I went for the bluff where I'm like, yeah, this feels gross. This is probably not going to succeed. But then we did it, and it succeeded. Or maybe it didn't. It doesn't matter. But understand that just because you feel something or just because you think something, that is totally irrelevant in mathematical things like poker. Need to cut down on playing Scrabble games. Again, Barry, there's nothing wrong with having hobbies. But if your hobbies, well, to be fair, things like other games, you can easily transfer one game to the other game to some extent. But again, ask yourself why you're playing. How much time does it actually take? For a lot of people, things like golf take a lot of time. Golf is a game, gets you outside. It's nice, it's relaxing, it's stressful sometimes. You get to gamble on it. And it also takes a load of time. Maybe not the ideal thing for you to do. Things like fishing. You get up and you go fishing. It takes all day and you come back. What did you do? You burnt a bunch of money in the form of gas. You polluted the environment and you maybe caught some dinner. It's probably not a good use of time, right? Nothing wrong with these things. But if you are actually trying to get very good at something, that time could definitely be better spent. And again, everyone's not always trying to get good at something. It's okay to not be trying to get good at something. It's okay to hang out and chill. But if you want to crush life, you must be finding things to get good at. I repeat, how much time have you invested studying compared to playing? Well, whenever I was young, I only studied. Before I ever played poker for real money, I'd spent $300 on poker books and read every book. So 100%? 99%? Call it what you want. You love fishing. It's very therapeutic. Sure. That's exactly what I'm saying, right? If you value things like relaxation and just chilling, then that's fine. Don't expect to get good at things, depending on how much time you spend doing it, right? Like, let's say you work a 9-to-5 job, and let's say you like to go fishing once a week, and you also like playing Scrabble 4 nights a week. So that gives us one weekend day that you probably spend with your family, and then that gives you 3 or 4 other nights a week, 3 nights a week. So now you have a whopping 6 hours per week to devote to getting good at something else. Hate to break it to you. If you do something for only 6 hours a week, you're not going to get good at it. You're not going to get good at it, sorry. Again, lots of you are asking me various sporadic questions. Have I decided you should bluff the river a lot? Yeah, I pretty much decided that in today's game. Yeah, don't get tilted. You should not get tilted. Just because everybody else around you is losing their minds, realize they're not playing the game for the same reason you are. If you watch high-stakes poker games, the good players never get tilted. Essentially, never. They may get slightly annoyed, but that very rarely will impact their strategy. You just watch them. You'll see players get just super unlucky over and over again, and they'll just continue playing well. How do they continue playing well? Well, they realize sometimes they're getting unlucky. That's okay. Sometimes you're going to be card dead. Sometimes you get all the good cards and your opponents are going to fold. Things are going to happen. The game's not rigged just because outlying events happen. Realize if there are like 1,000 different outlying events that could happen, well, every single time you play, one of those is going to happen. Justin just rattles off a series of people who I would not consider the best high-stakes players. Understand, Justin, I just literally just said the best high-stakes players. None of those players, as far as I can know, are considered to be the best high-stakes players. I literally just asked him Nathan's question. How many hours a week did I spend studying? Actually, during my prime, what would it be? That would be when I was playing sit and goes. I would play poker for 4 hours. I would spend 2 hours studying those games. I'd play poker, I'd spend another 4 hours playing. Then I would spend 4 hours studying those games plus some of the earlier ones. So what's that, 6 hours per day? Every day? 3 years straight? Every hand you don't go on is hitting. It doesn't matter. If you fold, it's irrelevant. A lot of people think about irrelevant things. So many people try to blame luck. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not sure if this is 100% true. But I think most people play poker to try to find something to blame their bad luck on at life. A lot of people are not doing as well at life as they want to. And so, they want to somehow prove to themselves that they just are unlucky. So they find a game like poker that has a lot of luck in it, and then they just want to blame the bad luck over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that justifies their, I guess existence in a life that they are not entirely happy with. And I get hired as a coach for some people who purely use hiring Jonathan Little as a reason to justify them losing when they just straight up don't do what I tell them to do. Then they play, and then they say, I guess I can blame somebody. I can blame luck. I can blame the coach. I can blame the game being rigged. I can blame all this stuff that actually none of it's true. It's important to realize that your results are up to you. And most people do not fully recognize this. They think there's infinite variance in it. Thank you. They think there's infinite variance, and they think that you can't beat luck, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, you pick how well you succeed based on how much you actually want to succeed and based on the devotion you're willing to put forward. D. Stanley Fitz says, this is common in personal trainers and nutritionists too. It's the victim mentality. Yeah, you're not the victim. Let's see. You've been following up. You like my stuff. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. This great stream as usual. Well, if you're enjoying this stream, hope you like it. Click like, click subscribe, share it with your friends. But again, it's important to realize this advice is not for most game players. This advice is for people who actually want to succeed at things. Another game I like playing, Magic the Gathering. I listen to the guy who designs the game, a guy named Mark Rosewater. He has a podcast where he discusses game design. And he says the vast majority of people who play that game don't play competitively. They don't play in tournaments. They play to goof off. And this is an expensive game where you have to spend some money to play it. People are playing purely at their kitchen table for fun. And, that may actually be how the vast majority of poker games take place. I'm not sure. There is no game designer for poker, and I don't think there's any real study on what percentage of poker games actually happen for more than, let's say, $1, $2 live, or, 25 cent, 50 cent online. I guess you could look at the number of play money games that play, right? I mean, you see Zynga. Zynga's a beautiful example where you can't win any money. You're straight up buying play chips for real money, and, everybody loses, and everybody's happy as can be. I know they have loads and loads and loads and loads of players, so maybe that's the case too. This advice would not be for someone who wanted to, goof off and have fun playing play money games. What about how I approach poker helped me outperform my peers? What is my peer? I'm not sure of the definition of the word peer. I view peer to be people who are your equals. I don't think I drastically outperform my peers. I think I'm probably somewhere right in the middle of the pack. Outperform regular people? Well, I focus on things that matter. Whenever I was young, growing up, me, 2 other guys in my area were pretty good at Magic the Gathering and also pretty good at poker. And none of them made it, and I made it. So why did I make it? Well, I was willing to look at my play and realize that I needed to change some things. For example, I used to think any ace was good, because ace is the best card in the deck, right? Turns out any ace is not good. They all thought any ace was good. We were sort of living in a bubble where we all played any ace, so it all broke even in the long run, right? I was one of the first ones to realize, hey, I should stop playing these bad aces. And who'd have thought? I started winning. And I was willing to put in more time studying, and I was willing to adjust and not just play some random default strategy. Zynga is just silly. Well, GTR bot. You have to understand that people do things for enjoyment. And people enjoy goofing off. I let James play Mario Kart. Mario Kart's purely for enjoyment. I play $5 a month 2 Mario Karts to get bonuses and to be able to level up faster and all of this. Why? I don't know. It's fun. So you can't make any money, and it's purely just silly. But I'm willing to pay that price for slightly more enjoyment, right? And Zynga's the same way. People look at that and say, oh, that's why would you ever play poker for play money? Understand, that's not your mentality, and that's okay. All right, let's see. Everyone keeps saying that Phil Hellmuth goes on tilt. Phil Hellmuth is not a very strong, world-class, high-stakes cash game player. I'm sure he would admit this himself. Or if you put him in the game with the world-class, high-stakes players, he would get demolished. Just like I would get demolished if you put me in the game with all the high-stakes players. If LeBron was 5'3", be working at McDonald's instead of being a top athlete. Perhaps. Luck is huge in life. Of course it is. But, fortunately, you can take your situation and then adjust accordingly. And, for example, I'm never going to be a basketball player. I played basketball for 1 year. It was horrible. And that's okay, right? I played, I learned, realized that's not for me, and I moved on with my life. A lot of people get, we'll call it pot committed. They get stuck in things they think they're supposed to be doing. Another good example where I could have got stuck was baseball, right? Started playing baseball when I was like 5 years old, and I think I quit when I was like 12 or 13. I was not good at it at all. And that was 7 years of my life we devoted to something. And it was like hardcore practice, practicing 4 or 5 days a week. And I'm sure I learned things from it, but it was obvious to me I wasn't going to be all that good at this game. And also, what is the potential upside? Become a Major League Baseball player, one out of like whatever it is, 100,000 kids who play or something absurd? Yeah, so odds of that's very low. So pack it up. Move on with your life. To be fair, the odds of being good at anything competitive is very, very low. But you have to make sure you're using your time wisely. And spending 5 days a week doing something that is completely irrelevant is not useful. You succeeded because you studied. Not just study. It's important to also apply what you learn. Many people study and read, yet not nearly as many apply what they learn. Applying what you learn is very, 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 very important. Mark, you're loading up a few hundred a month on Hearthstone. Goodness gracious. Mark, you realistically need to spend, every time they put out the launch, every time they put out the next set, buy like the $90 pack. So they put out a new set every 2 months, I think. Buy that pack, and then you should not really have to buy anything else. If you're playing and clearing quests every day and playing whatever 20 games a day or something, you should get enough gold to be able to like buy another 100 packs or something every 2 months. 200 packs should be plenty. So it should cost you roughly $100 a month to play the game, I think. How do guys like Madisau reach the highest levels of the game? Well, obviously Mike Madisau reached the highest levels of the game in 2001. Also, Madisau plays lots of mixed games that don't rely so heavily on the solvers. What's the best program to study with? If you had to pick only one, I guess it'd be Monker Solver, but you need a supercomputer to run it. Best program for most people. I mean, just get Equilab. I'm telling you, Equilab, if you want to pay money, get Power Equilab. That's really all you need to learn how ranges interact, which is vitally important. Doc said you won a tournament for 150 buy-ins yesterday. Congrats. What is that? $2,250? Ship it. How are you more consistent in poker? Well, it's easy to be consistent. Just play in games where you have a huge edge and play in games that lack variance. what program helped me the most. The program I spent the most hours on is Sit and Go Power Tools. It doesn't exist anymore, so don't even try to find it. You'd be much better off getting ICMizer. Sit and Go, ICMizer, and Equilab. Nothing fancy, everyone. Everyone thinks you got to spend a bunch of money on stuff to get great. Just not true. To be fair, I have watched tons of training videos of people using other programs like Munker Solver and PioSolver and Flopzilla and all that. But you don't have to spend tons of money. Glenn, I don't know what four-handed games you're specifically referring to, but we put four-handed charts at pokercoaching.com. At pokercoaching.com/four-handed? Four-max? Four-max. Pokercoaching.com/four-max. Do you need a supercomputer to run PioSolver? No. Depends on how you want to be running it, right? That is what Acevedo uses. Acevedo rents a server. You can rent servers for something like $1,000 a month or $500 a month or $200 a month, depending on the computing power. And then you can use those to run the various solvers. What are the best spots to bluff on the river? When your opponent is not the aggressor and not betting into you. Thoughts on Card Runner EV? I don't think it's necessary at all anymore. Like Sit and Go Power Tools, right? That was a great program 15 years ago, but ICMizer is like a million times better. Card Runners EV, great program 10 years ago, but PioSolver is way better. All right. So anyway, you want to make a point to ask yourself in all aspects of life, why am I doing what I'm doing? You need to take a step back, observe yourself, and analyze your setup. What do my actions indicate about what I want in life? And your actions very easily may indicate you are straight up goofing off. And if you're straight up goofing off, ask yourself if that's fine. Realize if you're goofing off, you're not going to get good at anything. If you spend all your nights and weekends out at the club, spending money and trying to hook up or something, that is not going to be a good use of your time. But it's okay to goof off. Again, nothing wrong with goofing off. But you want to ask, is that what I actually want? Is that what I actually want to accomplish? If anything, this quarantine time, where you're stuck at home and not able to do some of the things you used to, has hopefully been a bit of a wake-up call to some of you. That some of the things you used to do, you don't actually need. Right? For example, I've talked to a bunch of people who used to spend a bunch of money on clothes. They realize, oh my God, I don't need to spend $500 on a shirt. I can spend $50 and be equally happy. Maybe they just had a big unlock, right? Again, nothing wrong with spending your money on clothes. Spend your money on whatever you want to. But a lot of people have realized that some things just don't matter a whole lot, right? GTR says money is overrated. So in life, it's generally thought that there are a few classes of problems people have. People have health problems. They have emotional problems. They have relationship problems. They have financial problems. There's like some number of classes you can break every problem down into. I forget it. It's some number like 5. Anyway, money is one of them. And it turns out money won't necessarily cure all your problems, but it will cure all your financial problems. And if you go from having 5 things that could go wrong in your life to 4 things that go wrong in your life, it's actually pretty beneficial. You'd rather have money than not have money. Obviously, some people think that mo money, mo problems. Well, depends on what you do with your money. A lot of people, when they get money, they start buying all sorts of crap, and they don't pay their taxes, and they spew it all over the place, and yeah, that might cause you problems. Yeah, Mark, I had almost no free time as well. But that's good. It's good to make sure that you made use of this downtime. I made use of this downtime by writing a book, making a fundamentals course. You can get that at pokercoaching.com/fundamentals. And I'm almost finished with the tournament course. So that's what I spent most of my time doing. It's been a lot of work. It's been a grind. That's okay. I don't mind. Do I still do one-on-one coaching? Yes. I think there's a coaching tab in the tools section at Poker Coaching where I have a coaching listing as well as some of the other coaches at Poker Coaching. If that's not there, send us an email, support@pokercoaching.com. All right. That's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed today. I don't think people like the content where I discuss self-reflection. And I think it's something people need to hear, though. A little bit of tough love. What is the tournament course like? It's going to end up being about, 200 parts long. Each video will be between 5 and 10 minutes. After each video, there'll be some quizzes. It is an in-depth course. I was talking to my team about this the other day because we were actually discussing the Patrick Leonard thing saying just study short stacked. And they're like, oh, why don't we just tell people to study short stacked? Well, because that'll make people a fish. And we are considering ways to take the, 40 hours of content and breaking it down into, or really distilling it into a crash course, like a 2-hour crash course for people who don't actually want to study. Problem is, again, I'm not trying to teach people who want to devote 2 hours to poker and think they're good. That goes back to that idea of excuses to some extent, right? Oh, I studied. I watched the 2-hour crash course Jonathan Little made, but I'm still not good. Jonathan Little must suck at a coach. Or suck as a coach. It's like, no. You just didn't study any, right? It's going to be a big course. It's for people who really do want to go deep, who want to succeed. And if you get through that, you're going to be very, 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 very strong. Very, 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 very strong. Being able to objectively look at yourself is probably the single most important skill for getting better at anything. I think you also need to be able to objectively look at other people and see who you can learn from. I think that's also important, right? The ability to learn from others' mistakes, from others' experiences, I think is very, very important. Humans are hard-headed. I'm hard-headed. We're all hard-headed. We can't look at other people's mistakes and learn from those. But you want to do your best. I think that is a very important skill. Tournament course will be part of Poker Coaching Premium. Glad you all are enjoying my work. I appreciate it. If you have any ideas for things we can discuss here on A Little Coffee, definitely let me know. Send me an email, support@pokercoaching.com. I see every single email that comes in. I have a support team that answers most of them, but I see every single email that comes in. And things like A Little Coffee recommendations, I definitely note them. Also, we're going to be streaming Sunday. It's going to be my last stream for a while. After Sunday, I'm going to the woods for an indefinite amount of time. So we're going to stream Sunday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll probably go till 1 a.m., maybe later if things go well. That'll be at youtube.com/pokercoaching. I think there's 3 parts loaded up already. Go to part 1. Part 1 will go live then. Hopefully you'll be able to find it. It shouldn't be too difficult. I'll post a link on Twitter about that. Am I still coming to Nottingham this year? I don't know when the tournament is. If they have a tournament, probably. Which hands should you review? All of them. Check out my GoPro. Steven, I did not say my GoPro. I said search Jonathan Little Going Pro or something like that. No coffee till July. I think we'll still do a little coffee in the morning, but we're not going to be doing all-day study streams because on Sundays I need to go outside and play with my kids. So we won't be playing nearly as much online poker. All right, that's going to be it for today. Have a great day. Click like, click subscribe. If you want to study up on the fundamentals, check out pokercoaching.com/fundamentals. I have a nice, concise, I don't know how long it is, 6-hour course there to get you up to speed on how to play fundamentally sound. Now, you're not going to be the best player ever after you go through it, but you're going to be up to speed and call it a prerequisite to the content at Poker Coaching Premium. You have 3 $50 tournament tickets. Ooh, get rid of those. You don't want to have tournament tickets on ACR because that site might go down at any point. I'm currently sitting on 3 $2,500 tickets. I'm going to be lighting those up as soon as I can. You're trying to build a bankroll. How would you allocate them? Big field, small field, satellite, etc. Well, if you're trying to build a bankroll, that means you want no variance, right? If you're trying to build a bankroll, you'd rather just cash these things out. So if that's the case, play like $50 heads up sit and goes, right? That way you're 50-50 to cash them out. If I come to Nottingham, can you meet up with members? I did that last time. I bought all the members breakfast. It was nice. The Italian place had breakfast right across the street from Dusk Till Dawn. We had breakfast with all the Poker Coaching members. It was a lot of fun. And then, Poker Coaching coach James Romero took, I think, 3rd place, 2nd place, something like that in the main event for a load of money. He was there at the breakfast as well. That was a lot of fun. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Make the most of it. Click like, click subscribe. Thank you for being here. And I'll see all of you on Sunday, 1 p.m. sharp, for an all-day long poker stream.